Game development takes a really long time. Games can take months, years, or even decades to come out. But what if it didn't? What if I could make a game in a single day, start to finish, and release it for people to play? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do today. I'm going to make a game about a taxi driver in a zombie apocalypse, with gameplay at the cross between Crazy Taxi and Brotato. In Crazy Taxi, you pick up customers and drop them off to their location. In Brotato, you're a potato fighting monsters. They both make perfect sense, alright? So, not wasting any time, I'm going to get straight into development by drawing out some sprites for the car, the zombies, passengers, and so on, and then I'll check back in with you in a bit to see what progress I've made. Okay, so I've been going for a few hours here, just making the first little bit, and I've already got a car controller set up. It's not perfect with the physics, but it's just a fun arcade-style driving system. You can see here, I'm driving around this little tile map that I've set up, and it sort of drifts nicely, it handles nicely, it's fairly easy to control, and it's the exact style I wanted to go for, so I'm pretty happy with this already. I might tweak it a little bit, just the physics and whatnot, but for now this is a very nice car. And there's this tiny zombie here. I just drew up a few pixels for them, but what I'm going to do now is set up these zombies so you can do something in the game, and I'll be back when that's done. And then along comes the zombies. You can see here I'm driving about, and when I run into one, they die. Currently they don't do anything, but that is next. At the moment I'm just making sure that the zombie spawner is respawning them correctly using object pooling. Basically, instead of destroying old zombies and spawning new ones, they just get deactivated and reappear in a different position, which should save on performance. Right, now time for some logic to these guys. I wanted to design these as basic as possible, so all they do is rotate towards the car and walk forward. One feature I've added to the spawner is that whenever the zombies get too far away from the car, they're repositioned so they can't be left behind. When I zoom out, you can see this effect in action. It looks pretty good and it makes the world feel a bit more full. I just need to make sure that the respawn timers and distances are nicely balanced, and that is all done. And as it's a taxi-based game, you obviously need passengers. So I've got this guy here. He's just a slightly bigger zombie sprite, but that might change later. The idea with these passengers is that they spawn in with a weapon type and a destination they want to go to. When you drive over them and press E or X on a controller, they get in the car and start acting like your weapons. Implementing these was when I really ran into the problem of programming too quickly without proper planning, because I really couldn't decide on the best approach. Originally, I gave the car a weapon controller and would read the passengers' weapons and add that, but that just meant that the car was handling weapons and passengers separately, which just isn't the case. After doing this, it occurred to me that as the passengers are the weapons, they should always be in charge of their own, so they are now simply added as a child of the car when picked up. When the passengers spawn in, they're not really that visible in the crowd of zombies, nothing really makes them stand out, but I guess that's a problem I will solve in the future, maybe, probably not, oh well. One thing with the passenger spawner is not piling them all up at the same place. So I wrote a function that checks whether or not a location has a passenger waiting already, which is great. It uses a physics overlap, checks if anything hits it, and if not, then the space must be free. This sounds great in theory, except the code currently doesn't actually work, and they will pile on, so who knows really. I'm just going to keep working away and see what happens. So one of the biggest issues currently is that I've absolutely no idea if and when a passenger fires their weapon, or if a zombie has actually died. There's no visual indicator at all. So let's fix that with the Unity particle system. I'm not going to make a joke there, I want my stuff to be original. Anyway, I could create a particle system and add it to the zombie prefab that triggers on death. That would be really easy, but the issue with that is having about 1,000 particle systems all firing is not exactly good for performance, so I needed a way around that. The solution is simply to design a single particle system that does the effect I want. I changed the particle physics to world space, meaning if the particle system moves, the particles don't follow, and then I just move it to wherever the zombie dies, emit some particles, and then move it to the next death, and so on. This way there's only one particle system in the game, but it creates the effect for every single zombie. And here that is. I'm not 100% sold on the effect itself, but the script works perfectly for it, and I can just tweak the design later. And now when I drive around mowing down zombies, particles go off, and I know for certain that the zombie has died a painful, vehicular death. Isn't that fun? And I'm going to do the same for the gunshots, just emit some particles around the car in the direction of the shot. Again, I'm not too sold on the design, but it's good enough for now. We'll see if I've got any time at the end to finish these, but as a rough outline, they're great. Right, so now the passengers actually have a location that they want to go to. How this is done is that when they're spawned, it asks the location manager for a valid spot given their spawn point. It then just shuffles the list and goes through until it gets a point that is far enough away to consider it valid, and then returns it. The passenger then has a function that is repeatedly invoked once every half a second to check the distance between where they are and their destination. And if it's within 5 units, their journey is considered complete, they get out of the car, and the player will be rewarded in some way. I haven't got the money system in place yet, but I don't really have much time left, so we'll see where I get to. And so, it's the end of the day. How did I do? Well, I do have a game. I have made a game today. It's not finished, it's not perfect, and it's definitely not something that is in a releasable state, but it's fun. It's a really fun game. You can drive around in the city, that's really just a couple of roads. You can pick up customers, you can run over zombies, they do damage to you, you do damage to them. Customers get in your car, they shoot at the zombies for you, and then when they get to their location, they get out. Everything is there in the game. It just needs a little bit of polish before it's ready. But I am going to be uploading this game today whenever you're watching this video. So that should be the Sunday the 16th. So if you look at the upload date and it's 4 months ago, oops, yeah, I didn't get that out, but I tried. But anyway, this was a really fun project. I really enjoyed working on this. Let me know in the comments down below any feedback you've got on the game, any ideas you want to see implemented. I'll try and get them in. Like I said, there should be a link in the description to playtest the game. See what you think, see if you like it, see if you don't like it. It's all good, let me know. Remember to leave a like on this video and subscribe if you're new for more content like this. I tried a new format for this video. It's unscripted, it's in person, I'm right here, you can see me. I don't know if I like this format. I see how the edit goes, I see if I like doing this kind of stuff going forwards, if you guys like it. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.